Now let's see the derived physical quantities and how they are measured. This is the spring balance. Spring balance, Newton meter, is also known as Newton meter, and it is used to measure force. Now let's see measuring instruments that help us measure derived physical quantities. And this is Newton meter or spring balance that help us measure force in newtons. Another version of Newton meter. This is another version of Newton meter too, but it is adjusted to measure mass in some of our day-to-day lives, and it is a spring scale. That's why it is also known as the Newton meter. Pressure is also another derived physical quantity which is measured by pressure gauge. It is shown here. It measures in two units, in pascals per square inch and in bars. This is a pressure gauge that helps us measure air pressure and fluid pressure in general. Density is also another physical quantity, derived physical quantity, and this is the instrument by which we measure density. It is known as hydrometer. It's known as hydrometer. A digital version of hydrometer is shown here. There is also another digital version of hydrometer. There is an instrument which help us measure the frequency of light. This is known as sonometer. And it helps us measure the frequency of sound wave. Voltage or potential differences are measured in voltmeters, and here it is, the analog version of voltmeters. This is a galvanometer which helps us measure very small amount of current in a circuit. By measuring the deflection, we can have the amount of current in a circuit by simple calculations. This is also another instrument which we use in electronic lab to measure resistance in ohms. Resistance is measured in ohms. Capacitance can also be measured by a special device which is known as capacitance meter. This is a capacitance meter. Capacitance is measured in farads. This is the digital clamp meter that we discussed in the previous video when we discussed about the fundamental physical quantity. This is analog multimeter which measures current, resistance, voltage, etc. in for different circuit components. Analog multimeter. This is a digital multimeter. It is used to measure current, voltage, resistance, transistor characteristics, diodes, continuity, capacitance, etc. It is a multimeter, digital multimeter. Just to add some more on the fundamental physical quantities, one of the instruments that we use to measure fundamental physical quantities is triple beam balance. This is known as triple beam balance. The triple beam balance got its name because it has three sections. One section measures up to 10 grams, the other section up to 100 grams. In the middle section measures up to 500 grams as it is shown in the picture. This is also a digital version of mass measuring instrument, just to add to the fundamental physical quantities that we discussed last time in the previous video. Digital mass measuring instrument, digital balance.